Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and we are back with more. Uh, I forgot what I even call this series. Anyway, the wealthy people. So we know who they are and who to blame for a lot of the ills in society because they're so greedy with the money. But yeah. Wealthy Monsters. That was the name of the series. I could not think of it there. It wouldn't come to me. But anyway. Yeah, today we are looking at Jensen Huang, who is apparently now in the top 10 in this list, which it does change quite a bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at Jensen here. He is the CEO and president of Nvidia. I think also one of the founders of the companies. Yeah, co-founded graphics chip maker Nvidia in 1993 and served as its CEO and president ever since, and owns approximately 3% of the company, which he took public in 1999. He was born in Taiwan and moved to Thailand as a child, but his family sent him and his brother to the U.S. as civil unrest mounted in the nation. Under Huang, Nvidia's GPUs became dominant first in computer gaming and now in AI, propelling the company's market cap past $4 trillion in 2025. It's insane to try to think of a billion. The company is now over $4 trillion. Think about this. 999 million, 1 billion. 999 billion is 1 trillion, and you do that 4 times. It's insane money. He's given Stanford $30 million for an engineering center, and in 2022 gave $50 million to Oregon State University for a namesake research center. I can at least appreciate that. Engineering center in Stanford and research center at Oregon State. So at least it's something useful with the money, at least. But yeah. Let's go over here to Wikipedia and look at him a little more in depth. He was born February the 17th, 1963, making him 62 years of age, in Taipei, Taiwan. So he, while being in the U.S. and a U.S. citizen, where he was born in Taiwan, he still has Taiwan citizenship. Okay, so I can appreciate the donations to Stanford and Oregon State even more, knowing they were also apparently his alma maters. Let's see. 2 children. Let's see. Born in Taipei, Taiwan, and moved to the southern city of Tainan as a child. He is the younger of 2 sons of Huang Xingtai, a chemical engineer at an oil refinery in Lo Sai Sui, I don't think it's Su, Sai Sui, a school teacher. Um, they were a middle class Taiwanese family that relocated often and were native speakers of Taiwanese Hokkien. Um, each day, Jensen's mother randomly selected 10 words from a dictionary to teach her sons English. Okay. When he was 5 years old, his family moved to Thailand to support his father's refinery career and remained there for around 4 years and attended the Ruam Rudi International School while in Bangkok, Thailand. In the late 1960s, Sing Thai traveled from Taiwan to New York City to train under an air conditioning company, and after returning home, resolved to send his sons to the U.S. And at the age of 9, despite not being able to speak English, was sent to his parents to live in the U.S. He and his older brother moved in 1973 to live with an uncle in Tacoma, Washington, escaping widespread social unrest in Thailand. 73, so I guess it could also be part of the fallout from the Vietnam War, because they're all in that kind of Southeast Asia corridor there, formerly Siam. But Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, they're all in that same spot. Both Huang's uncle and aunt were recent immigrants to Washington State, and they accidentally enrolled him and his brother in the Oneida Baptist Institute, a religious reform academy in Kentucky for troubled youth, and mistakenly believing it to be a prestigious boarding school. Oh goodness. In order to afford the academy's tuition, Jensen's parents sold... Oh goodness. Oh goodness. When he was 10, he lived with his older brother in Oneida Boys' dormitory. And each student was expected to work every day, and his brother was assigned to perform manual labor on a nearby tobacco farm. Because he was too young to attend classes at the Reform Academy, Huang was educated at a separate public school, the Oneida Elementary School in Oneida, Kentucky, arriving as an undersized Asian immigrant with long hair and heavily accented English, and was frequently bullied and beaten. Some people are assholes. Sorry that happened to you. In Oneida, Huang cleaned toilets every day, learned to play table tennis, joined the swimming team, and appeared in Sports Illustrated at the age of 14. He taught his illiterate roommate, a 17-year-old covered in tattoos and knife scars, how to read in exchange for being taught how to bench press. Wow. In 2002, he recalled that he remembered his life in Kentucky more vividly than just about any other. 2 years after Huang arrived in Oneida, his parents moved to the United States and settled in Beaverton, Oregon, where the brothers withdrew from the school in Kentucky to live back with their parents. As a teenager, Huang attended Aloha High School in Aloha, Oregon, where he excelled academically. I was starting to say, did he go to Hawaii? But, okay, apparently I did not know there was an Aloha, Oregon. He skipped 2 grades, graduated at age 16, so clearly intelligent, and became a nationally ranked table tennis player in addition to being a member of its mathematics, computer, and science clubs. In 1977, he purchased an Apple II computer and used the machine to play Super Star Trek, a text-based game, and to program in BASIC, creating his own version of the game Snake. At 15, he got his first job working the graveyard shift at a local Denny's as a dishwasher, busboy, and waiter from 78 to 83. And after high school, chose to enroll in Oregon State University due to its low in-state tuition. Honestly, public universities and colleges should be free. Seriously. He studied electrical engineering and computer science and graduated early with a bachelor's degree in 1984 with highest honors. Huang later recalled, "I was the youngest kid in school, in class, and the only student who looked like a child." Years later, while working as a microchip designer in Silicon Valley, he concurrently pursued graduate night classes at Stanford. Wow. So, graduate night classes at Stanford University while working as a microchip designer. Dude, that's impressive, I've got to say. AMD and LSI Logic. Then he founds Nvidia in 1993. And the name of the company, Nvidia, is based on the Latin word Nvidia, as Priam wanted competitors to turn green with envy. Envy is what it literally means. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. They frequently met at a Denny's roadside diner in East San Jose to set up a business plan. They were able to get in touch with a Don Valentine, who was the leader of Sequoia Capital, and he chose to invest in Nvidia, as did Sutter Hill Ventures. So, yeah. He would be president and CEO of the company, which he apparently still has to this day. The three co-founders in 1993 had no idea how to start a company. Building Nvidia turned out to have been a million times harder than they expected, and they probably would not have done it if they had realized up front the pain and suffering it involved, the challenges they were going to endure, the embarrassment and the shame, and the list of all the things that would go wrong. For its first graphics accelerator chips, Nvidia focused on rendering quadrilateral primitives. straightforward texture mapping instead of the triangle primitives preferred by competitors, and barely survived long enough to successfully pivot to triangles only because Sega agreed to keep Nvidia alive with a $5 million investment. So yeah, clearly they were struggling in the early years. By the time of the Riva 128 was released in August of '97 and saved the company, Nvidia was down to 1 month of payroll. Goodness. This resulted in the unofficial company motto: our company is 30 days from going out of business. Huang regularly began presentations to Nvidia staff with those words for many years. However, he regards the pain and suffering of the early years as essential to the company's success in later years. Historically, Huang and Nvidia are well known among gamers and computer graphics experts who were the original intended markets for their graphics processing units, the GPUs. But in 2017, a Fortune profile article acknowledged if you haven't heard of Nvidia, you can be forgiven. During the AI boom, Huang's net worth rose rapidly along with the value of Nvidia's stock from US $3 billion in 2019 to US $90 billion in May of 2024. During this same time, Huang became more widely known. In March of 2024, Mark Zuckerberg wrote on Instagram with a picture of himself and Huang wearing each other's signature jacket. He's like Taylor Swift, but for tech. So he becomes quite the celebrity when you talk to computer people and everything. Awards was he earned? 1999 Entrepreneur of the Year by by Ernst & Young in high technology. 2002, the Daniel J. Epstein Engineering Management Award from the USC, University of Southern Cal. 2004 received the Dr. Morris Chang Exemplary Leadership Award from the Fabless Semiconductor Association, recognizing a leader who has made exceptional contributions to driving the development, innovation, growth, and long-term opportunities for the fabless semiconductor industry. 2005, named an Alumni Fellow by Oregon State University. 2007, received the Silicon Valley Education Foundation's Pioneer Business Leader Award for his work in both the corporate and philanthropic worlds. June 2009, received an honorary doctorate from Oregon State University. 2018, listed the inaugural Edge 50 in the inaugural Edge 50, naming the world's top 50 influencers in edge computing. October 2019, named Best Performing CEO in the World by Harvard Business Review. 2020 awarded the IEEE Founders Medal award presented for outstanding contributions in the leadership, planning, and administration of affairs of great value for the to the electrical and electronics engineering profession. Meh. November 2020 named Supplier CEO of the Year by Automotive News Europe Eurostars. Also in November 2020, received an honorary doctorate from National Taiwan University. August 2021, received the Robert N. Noyce Award from the Semiconductor Industry Association, the industry's highest honor. 2021 and 2024 was included in the Time 100 Times annual list of the world's 100 most influential people. And in December 2023, named Best CEO of 2023 by The Economist. 2023 and 2024 included in Time's list of the 100 most influential people in AI. February 2024, elected to the National Academy of Engineering for high-powered graphics processing units fueling the artificial intelligence revolution. May 2024, recognized as an A1 honoree by Gold House. September 2024, selected as a fellow of the Industrial Technology Research Institute. November 2024, ranked number 2 by Fortune magazine on its inaugural list of the 100 most powerful people in business. Also in November, we have received honorary doctorate from Hong Kong University of Science and Technology and being awarded the Edison Award for visionary leadership in artificial intelligence and transformative technology. December 2024, received the grand prize of the Vin Future Prize alongside Joshua Bangio, Yann LeCun, Jeffrey Hinton, and Fei-Fei Li for their groundbreaking contributions to neural networks and deep learning algorithms. February 2025, awarded the Queen Elizabeth Prize for Engineering jointly with Yoshua Bengio, Bill Daly, Jeffrey E. Hinton, John Hopfield, Yann LeCun, and Fei-Fei Li. May of 2025, honorary doctorate from Linköping University. And just this month, November 2025, he was the Professor Stephen Hawking Fellowship at Cambridge Union in the University of Cambridge. Actually related to the AMD chair and CEO. So Nvidia and AMD are actually connected. Huang's mother is the youngest sister of Su's maternal grandfather, making them first cousins once removed. Huang and Taiwanese billionaire Charles Liang, a co-founder of Supermicro, are longtime friends. So he's pretty connected inside the technology field, because he has a lot of contacts. Whether they be by blood or not, so. Jensen and his wife, Lori, have established the Jen-Tsun and Lori Huang Foundation in 2007 with the initial donation of Nvidia stock valued at $300 million. The foundation's assets, primarily Nvidia shares, have significantly appreciated, reaching a value exceeding $12 billion as of late 2025. Placing it among the world's largest private foundations in the U.S. A December 2024 investigation by the New York Times reported that the Nvidia shares donated by the Huangs to the foundation and other charitable vehicles are valued at approximately $2 billion, enabling significant tax benefits while committing these assets to philanthropic purposes. The foundation focuses its support on higher education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM initiatives. Also, public health, community development, and an emphasis on institutions connected to the Huang's personal histories and the San Francisco Bay Area. Approximately 2/3 of its grants are allocated to donor-advised funds, including the G-Force Fund at Schwab Charitable. And in June 2025, the Huangs contributed an additional $60 million in Nvidia stock to the foundation. You know, personally, I don't believe there should be a need for philanthropy if so many rich people would pay their taxes, pay their fair share, because then it can be properly distributed among the people. But that not being how things are done, in the meantime, philanthropy is a good thing. Notable contributions include a $2 million donation in 2019 to the Oneida Baptist Institute in Kentucky, where Huang studied as a young immigrant, to fund the construction of the Jensen Huang Hall, a dormitory and classroom facility for female students. In 2022, the Huangs donated $50 million to Oregon State University, their alma mater, to establish the Jen-Tsun and Lori Huang Collaborative Innovation Complex. Apparently, he's also connected with something called Huang's Law, which is an observation in the computer science and engineering that advancements in graphics processing units, GPUs, are growing at a rate much faster than the traditional central processing units, CPUs. Huh. You'd figure something like that could be figured out upon a observational research into the data of the growth of the two. But anyway. Yeah. Nvidia under Huang experienced rapid growth during the AI boom, becoming the first company to reach a market capitalization of over 5 trillion in October of this year, 2025. The other one said 4. This one now says 5, which it might be more up to date, where it's just last month. Jeez. See, that's insane to have that much wealth in the company. Individually, you're still, people have like 400, Elon was at 400 million, but, or 400 billion, sorry. But yeah, jeez. You could fix so much in this nation, in the world, with that kind of money. Goodness gracious. And that's what kills me. If you've got this much money and you want to truly be philanthropic with it, use it for something that helps the world, the people of the world. It's just devastating. But again, that 5 trillion is Nvidia's value. His personal value, I think we pointed out, was around 100 billion. But yeah, jeez, for a company that almost went bankrupt numerous times to being worth over $5 trillion. Don't know what to say, man. It's a lot of money. And yeah, this is all under Huang, Jensen Huang. Yeah, his personal name is Huang Jen-Tsun, and so Jen-Tsun in English, just anglicized, becomes Jensen. So yeah. But interesting. Probably one of the better people so far of the list I've seen. There's some real stinkers like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. But then there's some that's not horrible, you're still pretty bad off if you got all that money and people are still struggling in this world, because that should not be a thing. No one should be a billionaire while people starve, people are homeless. But yeah. Anyway, this will be the end of the video. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting my links and sources in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.